Today, I will be teaching how to write a sample public forum case. For starters, a first speech, as in the first speaker's first speech, should consist of these three primary things. 1, an introduction. 2, 3 or more contentions, or that really depends on the debater. And 3, a conclusion. And the summary for your first speaker should consist of 1, refutations to the other side's points, and 2, a summary of your own contentions, and 3, a weighing of why you won that particular debate. An introduction is pretty simple. All it really is you introducing your case to your judge and your opponents. If your case consists of dogs are better than cats, your introduction should establish what you will be debating in that round. Your contentions are points, and each one of these points, you need to prove your side of the debate. So in each one of your points, you will have the basic contention summarized into one sentence. And then the rest of the contention, 3 or more sentences, should consist of elaborating on that summary you provided at the beginning. You need to elaborate on your basic contention and make sure that the judge fully understands what you were arguing. Now, for as the number of contentions you will need, I would recommend 3 or more. But I know that depending on the debater, you may be able to get your point across in just 1 contention or 2 contentions. Or some people would prefer to have 3 or more. I highly recommend that you have no more than 5, and then as opposed to having a ton of contentions, go for quality over quantity. A conclusion is pretty simple. All it does is wrap up your debate. Make sure to end nicely and smoothly, not too choppy. A summary, which is limited to the first speaker, should be comprised of 2 main elements. The first one is refutations to your opponent's points, which is pretty self-explanatory. The second one is reinforcing your own argument. That means going over your points as well as your second speaker's points, as well as using a weighing mechanism of the debate to explain to the judge why exactly did you win. You should be able to go over all your arguments and hit the ones that you really are the main part of your speeches to make sure the judge knows why your side should win the debate. A final focus is limited to the second speaker of each debate. Now, a final focus should really be comprised of 1 main element, and if time permits, a second. The main thing it should be comprised of is a weighing mechanism. Now, the weighing mechanism opposed to the summary should be very more stressed in a final focus. And you should talk about why exactly did you win the debate, and explain to the judge and hit that you should win the debate based off of your strongest arguments. And the second one, if time permits, you should have small refutations to points that weren't hit earlier on in the debate.
Judge, while the negative will most likely feed you the idea of our armed men and women going into a hostile nation to fight a war we can't win, let me tell you, this would be an unfair exaggeration of what the affirmative is imposing. My opponent is stupid for not saying this.
Stop. Don't attack your opponent. Resume.
According to Jason Ellis, the senior research professor at the National Defense University.
Stop. Always good to cite your sources.
The U.S. Defense Department has undertaken research and development activities to develop strike capabilities that can achieve operational objectives, including the destruction of an adversary's assets located in hardened and or buried targets with attention to minimizing collateral effects. Judge, you have to agree with us. You don't know better anyways.
Stop. Never attack your judge. It can be viewed as rude. Always be polite. Resume.
What he is stating is that the U.S. Defense Department already has capabilities to use military force to reach nuclear deproliferation, as well as minimizing side effects. We, as America, have the technology to safely deter nuclear proliferation. Now it is time to exercise it.
Stop. That's a good closing. You should always end strong and have a good closing sentence to sum up your argument. And that ends the first affirmative argument.
We cannot unilaterally act upon a country threatening us, considering the imminent danger that country could possess towards us. Apparently the affirmative doesn't care about people, since they're going to kill all these innocent civilians.
Stop. Don't antagonize or be rude to your opponent.
This is completely counterproductive and has no positive outcome. Invading Iran to rid them of their nuclear weapons can open up the United States for a new terrorist group worse than Al-Qaeda. Terrorists will invade and kill us all!
Stop. Be passionate, but not insane. Be forceful and calm. Resume.
It is stated that Iranian-backed Hezbollah is more capable of conducting terrorist attacks than Al-Qaeda ever was. It is stated that Iranian-backed Hezbollah is more capable of conducting nuclear attacks than Al-Qaeda ever was. We cannot invade Iran unilaterally to rid them of their nuclear weapons because it absolutely opens America up for terrorist attacks, which deems the affirmative argument unnecessarily dangerous. What the
Stop!
No profanity in the debate. Resume.
They want to argue that opening America up for terrorism is justified, but it is clear that on a cost-benefit scale when invading Iran, it is completely and utterly unjustified.